Take place.
Congratulations to the Green Bay Packers, the NFC North Division champions.
Hello everyone and welcome to Total Packers with Matt LaFleur, Larry McCarren along with the head coach of the Green Bay Packers. And Matt, congratulations on your third straight division title. Could you kind of put it in perspective?
Yes, certainly that's our number one goal when we start the season is to win the North. It's a credit to everybody in this building, starting on top, and you know, our coaches, our players, everybody's so invested in this thing. It's a long road to get there. Just really proud of our group, how they've come together. It seems like the communication's getting better and better. The connectivity of the guys is getting better and better, and hopefully that will continue to progress and improve upon into the postseason.
Coming up, you've got the Cleveland Browns of immediate concern, and all I know is they're in the hunt. They've got a lot of talent, and they've got a lot of COVID right now.
They do have a lot of COVID. They're missing a lot of guys, so it is a little bit challenging in terms of game planning. Not quite sure who's going to be available for them, but that's kind of the landscape of the NFL right now. But we do know this. We got a team that's very competitive. They've been in almost every game. One of the best defenses in the league. It's going to be a great challenge. They got pass rushers all over the place. Their secondary is really, really good. It's one of the better secondaries we'll have played. And then offensively, they can run the football. So it's going to be a great challenge for our football team.
While we're on their offense, Baker Mayfield, everybody in the universe has heard of him. You're a quarterback person. What do you think of Baker Mayfield?
I think Baker's an outstanding quarterback. He just has the ability to make any throw on the field, and then he is such a competitor, and you can see it the way he plays. He does not give up on plays. He can make the off-schedule plays. He can move the chains with his legs, and that's something that, quite honestly, we struggled with versus Baltimore. So we've got to be better in that regard. We've got to be more disciplined in our rush lanes, and then we've got to do a great job of covering on the back end.
Let's go back to the Ravens game now, and offensively speaking, there was a stretch where in 6 possessions you scored 5 times, 4 of them touchdowns. Overall, how did you feel about your offensive performance?
I thought by and large it was pretty solid. Certainly did not start the game out the way we wanted to with a 3 and out, but after that we kind of got rolling a little bit. We had the 2-minute drive where we started to move the ball, and then unfortunately missed a chip on the right side and got sacked. That kind of put us back. But then to start the second half, you know, we had a couple of 10-plus play drives, and that led to points. And ultimately, we would have liked to finish that out there in 4-minute mode. Didn't get it done, so there's stuff to work on and stuff to improve upon.
Did you like the way you ran the ball against the league's #1 rushing defense?
Yeah, I thought from a run efficiency standpoint, we did a pretty good job. We didn't get a lot of explosive runs, but we didn't necessarily anticipate that either. That's a challenging front to run the ball against. They're big, they're stout, they're physical, and but I thought we were pretty effective.
They had an interesting way of doubling Davante Adams. I mean, they made no bones about it. They just lined up 2 guys across from him a lot of the time.
It was very interesting. I haven't seen too many coverages like that, but give them credit. You know, they wanted to take Tay out of the game, and they held him to probably one of his lowest receiving yards game that he's had this season at 44 yards. So it was a challenge, but he still made some critical plays. Certainly the touchdown reception on the goal line where he beat double coverage. The corner was outside leverage, but Tay is just so great at getting off the ball and moving people off their spot, was able to capture the edge and made a big play for us.
Defensively speaking, had several big stops, a couple on fourth down, then of course the 2-point conversion. How'd you feel about that unit's play overall?
We can be a lot better, and we've got to make sure that in situational ball in the third down, that's when we have to get off the grass. And our guys got to understand when we need to challenge, specifically on the perimeter, and not give up easy completions. You mentioned it, we made the play when we had to. The 2-point conversion, obviously big play in the game. It was great to see Savage get a piece of that ball. Stokes was right there, so I think it would have been incomplete either way.
Eric really played well, didn't he?
He sure does. He's pretty consistent. He's a really great player. I think it all starts with how he approaches the game in practice, his preparation on a daily basis. I think Jerry Gray and Ryan Downer do a great job with him. He really takes the coaching in, and then he goes out and performs at a high level.
Thank you, Matt. Coming up, MVS. Don't go away.
Rodgers throws left side. Got MVS. Touchdown.
I mean, it's a great accomplishment. He's thrown a lot of touchdown passes over the years, and I'm just grateful to be a part of that and doing whatever I can to make sure that he throws a lot more.
Total Packers with Matt LaFleur is brought to you by your local Chevy dealers, by Bellum Health, and by Johnsonville. Welcome back. This one-on-one is brought to you by Pothole Frozen Pizza from Quick Trip.
Rodgers throws left side. Got MVS. Diving grab. Touchdown. And for Aaron Rodgers, his 442nd career touchdown pass, tying Brett Favre for most in Green Bay Packers annals.
How about catching Aaron Rodgers' 442nd touchdown pass, tying Brett Favre for the all-time Packer record?
I mean, it's a great accomplishment. He's thrown a lot of touchdown passes over the years, over his 17 seasons, and I'm just grateful to be a part of that and doing whatever I can to make sure that he throws a lot more.
What's going to happen to that ball?
I'm definitely keeping it. It's at the house, and that was going to stay, in my possession for a while.
Don't blame me a bit.
Touchdown!
Marquez, I was thinking, just watching you make it, reaching out and plucking that ball, diving for the goal line, reaching it over. I thought, wow, just kind of before our eyes, Marquez has become a very polished wide receiver. Do you feel that way?
I mean, I feel like the same way I felt when I walked in the building. No real changes in that regard. I've been confident in myself since day one. So obviously you want to keep continuing to get better year in and year out, no matter how long you stay in this league. And that's just been the goal.
Now, does Aaron Rodgers, with what he's doing right now, bad toe and all, have you gotten to the point where nothing he does surprises you?
I mean, he's literally the greatest quarterback to ever throw a football. So at this point, there's no more surprises. It's just like expected for him to just go out and do everything spectacular because he's one of a kind.
Looks, lost it, deep over the left side. He's got MVS. No one will catch him. Touchdown, Green Bay.
Marquez, in your last 4 games, 16 catches for 291 yards and 2 touchdowns. And 18.2 you're averaging per catch. Is your season, your personal season, kind of hit a sweet spot of sorts?
No, I wouldn't say that. I just kind of go out there and make the plays that are presented to me. And that's kind of the focus, day in and day out. I don't really want to think about, what I did last week or what's coming up this week. I want to think about, how to attack the day and how to be the best version of myself.
Does part of that include goal setting? Like last year, for instance, you led the league in average per catch, over 20 yards per catch. Is that something you want to better? Do you think in those terms at all, Marquez?
No, I don't really think about that. I just try to score every single play. So that's kind of how the yards per catch thing came about. And obviously, I catch a lot of footballs down the field. So, I obviously have a higher yards per catch than most guys. But, that's not really a thing I'm thinking about, that I got to go and, have, 2 catches for 60 yards so I can keep my average up. It's just, I got to go out here and make the next play.
Marquez, what does winning a 3rd straight division title mean to you?
Yeah, it's a great accomplishment. Obviously, this is something that, we set our starting goal every year to win the North, because that's going to make sure that we get a home playoff game. And I think that's a great advantage to us, having people come in and play in Lambeau.
You have been through this drive to the playoffs and beyond before. What's important now, Marquez, team-wise?
Just staying healthy, man. I think that's just the biggest thing, that we got to keep our guys, healthy for the long haul. Because with the added game at the end of the season, that makes it a lot more difficult for guys to get through it. And we got a very tight, playoff spot that a lot of guys are hunting for right now. So every game matters. And I think that's just kind of what we are focused on, just winning the next game.
Let's see, you got a short week coming up. The game against the Cleveland Browns, and you got Christmas in there. Marquez, have you figured out how you're going to fit everything in?
Just go play the game and let everything else kind of fall into place after that.
Well, Marquez, best of luck against the Browns. Have a Merry Christmas, and thank you for being with us.
Same to you. Happy holidays.
Coming up, this week's Chalk Talk. Don't go away. Welcome back. This week's Chalk Talk is brought to you by Network Health. Play action passing was good to the Packers in Baltimore, and of course it's built on running plays. First down during the first half, and the Packers are going to block down. They're going to pull a guard to kick out and pull a tight end to lead through. Well-blocked play. On the kick out, the guy's going to jump around it, but he takes himself out of the play. And then it's Josiah DeGuara with the lead block. Aaron Jones follows, picks up 7 big yards. On the very next play, the Packers are going to block down. They're going to pull a guard to kick out and then pull a tight end to lead through. Watch it. It looks very similar, doesn't it? It certainly looked that way to the Baltimore Ravens, who reacted accordingly. But check out Aaron Rodgers. He carries out a fake. He really sells this thing big time. And when he gets in position to throw the ball, he actually has 2 receivers open. Mercedes Lewis short and Davante Adams long. Aaron picks Mercedes probably because it's fun to watch him run over people. It's good for team morale. The guys on the sideline love it. And before he's through, Mercedes has got 10 yards and a first down. On 5 of the Packers' first 9 plays of the second half, Aaron Jones lined up directly behind center, and on all 5 plays, got the ball and took it straight up the gut. He actually averaged about 6 yards a carry doing so. On play number 10, Aaron is lined up directly behind center, and look at this linebacker. He knows it's a run. He can't wait. He's getting edgy. He wants to get to that line of scrimmage, but check out Aaron Rodgers. This time, it's a fake, and that linebacker is in no position to help out with underneath coverage on the always dangerous Davante Adams. Look at that, Davante wide open for 16 yards and a first. Now let's go back to that linebacker and watch his body language. You know what he's saying? He's saying, damn! And that's the beauty of play action passing. Total Packers with Matt LaFleur is brought to you by Network Health, by your Wisconsin Toyota dealers, and by Ticketmaster. Welcome back. Time to hand out game balls. And Matt, not surprisingly, on offense, you went with MVS.
He made some big-time plays for us. I thought he did a nice job in the run game, but just showing those aggressive hands, showing the speed, made some critical third down conversions, was really happy with the way he played, and I think it stems with how he prepared during the week. He had a really good week of practice, and it translated to the game.
You know, his touchdown catch, I thought it spoke volumes about what a polished receiver he's become. Reaches it out, snatches it with his hands out of the air, and then the reach over the goal line, there's a polished receiver.
Yeah, the reach is not something we always coach. So if you reach, you better score. And luckily for us, he did.
All right, on defense, you went with Devondre Campbell and Adrian Amos, two players who always seem to be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, the first thing that comes to mind when I think of both of those guys is consistent. Both of those guys embody what it means to be a pro and what it means to be consistent. You can always count on them, and they always deliver and have great performances.
And on special teams, the venerable one, Mason Crosby.
Yeah, he's definitely gotten back on track, which is great for us. It's great to see, and he's a guy that, again, he's a captain, and you can always count on him.
Thank you, Matt. Coming up, the last word from the coach. Don't go away.
Merry Christmas from all of us at historic Lambeau Field, where tonight the Packers take on their arch rivals. Jordy Nelson, touchdown! James Jones, touchdown, Green Bay! Touchdown! 14-1, world champion Green Bay Packers defeat the Bears. Merry Christmas on three. 1, 2, 3. Merry Christmas!
That victory over the Bears 10 years ago marks the last time the Packers played on Christmas Day. The Browns draw the holiday task this season as they come to Lambeau Field on Saturday. The Packers have won the last 3 head-to-head matchups. A win this weekend would help them complete the season sweep of the AFC North. The Last Word with Matt LaFleur is brought to you by Construction Business Group and Wisconsin Operating Engineers.
Welcome back. Time for the last word from the coach. And Matt, back to the Browns, and we were talking about their talent. On the defensive side of the ball, they got Myles Garrett, who has like 15 sacks, and offensively, they got a running back named Nick Chubb, who averages 5.5 yards a carry. That is talent.
There's a lot of talented players on that team. They are loaded with a bunch of former first-round picks. And they're reaping the benefit of that now. I mean, this is a competitive football team, a team that is in the hunt for the playoffs. They've got talent all over the field. I think really on both sides of the ball, it's going to be absolutely imperative that we win the line of scrimmage because we know Cleveland's going to try to run the football. They've got 2 outstanding backs. You mentioned Nick Chubb. Kareem Hunt is the other guy. And then defensively, we better take care of that front. They've got a lot of sacks. They're one of the premier defenses in this league. It's going to be a great challenge for them.
Matt, I have to ask you, how are you going to balance the game preparation with the Christmas holiday?
Is it Christmas? That's kind of where my focus is as a coach. But no, certainly you have to balance that, and you got to be mindful of that and allow your players to get with their families and celebrate the holidays, but we also know that we better put the work in because we're playing a really good football team and we need to be at our best on Saturday in Lambeau.
Matt, thank you. Merry Christmas, and thank you for watching, and a happy and Merry Christmas to you and yours. Until next time, take care.